So I don't really know how to start this video. Get some incense burning to set the mood. Right, I've burnt my thumb. Great start, Bill. So today's video, I want to talk about how I quit hard drugs. This is a very difficult topic for me to talk about. This isn't a sob story. This isn't a cry for help. This is me accepting that I'm actually over this demon that had possession of my life for a good few years. And I can sit here and happily say that I defeated it. I got through it. I'm happy. So this video is more of an encouragement to other people that rock bottom is only temporary. Believe me, I've been there, I've got through it, and I'm living a fantastic life. I'm very happy. I'm very grateful for the life that I live. And this is a bit about my story on how I got here, I guess. So we'll take it back a few years to 18-year-old Bill, who didn't really drink that much. Never tried any drugs, never smoking weed or anything. Just went to uni. I guess you could say got in with the wrong crowd. They weren't horrible people. They weren't forcing me to do anything. But in my head, I had these insecurities. And that led to me trying things that I perhaps should not have tried. It started out with just the occasional special night out. I'd try some MDMA. Or a little bit of cocaine. And then over time it grew. I was doing it more regularly. Then it got out of hand and I was doing it not even on nights out, but just to wake up on a morning, just to feel something, get out of this escape of what I thought my reality was. And this was a horrible time for me. I won't sugarcoat it. It was awful. I was at the bottom and I couldn't see my life changing. I thought that was it. I thought this was me. Yeah, there were times I was taking drugs with a stranger in a club bathroom or getting thrown out of a bar because I was caught by the owner doing cocaine. It was awful. It was a really horrible time, and I really empathize with anyone that has been through that or is going through that. I think it's very difficult to get out of. I think it's difficult to get out of because you are escaping from what you think reality is. And if you are not happy with reality, then you choose these substances to abuse so that you don't have to face the life that you're living. And looking back, my reality wasn't bad at all. I had a family that loved me. I had a roof over my head. I had food in my fridge. But it wasn't an exterior thing that made me feel like this. It was all inside. It was either inside here or inside here. But whatever it was, wherever it was causing a lot of damage. And I felt that for some reason that hard drugs were going to help me get through this. And they didn't. They escalated it. They made it 10 times worse. I don't want to focus I don't want to focus as much on what I went through. I'd rather talk about how I got through it, in the hopes that if you are going through this or you know someone who is, then they can too get through this a stronger, more purposeful person. Now, I think one of the main reasons that I went into hard drugs was because of my self-image. I was really insecure. I was shy. I started taking them just to fit in, like a lot of young people do. And I don't know what it was, but some part of me recognized that this was just a solely self-image issue. As soon as I was happy with myself, there was no need to do these stupid things. So self-image was very important in getting through this, and it was probably the most difficult thing I had to do, was to look in the mirror and realize that this wasn't the man that I wanted to be, but more importantly, and this was the actual drive, the motivator, the engine that got me out of this period of my life, was I'm not the guy that my family deserve. I'm not the son that my mum should have. I'm not the brother that my sister should have. And And it wasn't fair on them. I think going through that, taught me a lot about what my place was and what my purpose was. I had to stop being selfish, and I had to stop being selfish because I couldn't be the uncle that was the mess, the drug addict, the person who couldn't get their life together. I couldn't do that to them. And at this point, it didn't matter about me at this point. It was all for my family. Yeah, they didn't deserve the Bill that I became, and I couldn't live with being that guy anymore once I realised this. So I made a change. I always kept that in my mind. I was always very aware of who I was at the time. And yeah, people say you fall back into bad habits, but when you've got a motivator like your family or your self-image, then every time this situation might come your way where you've got the opportunity, it's just not... It's the last thing that you ever could do, because you've got a purpose greater than yourself. You've got your future. You've got your little niece. You've got your nephew. You can't do that to them. You can't do that to your family. It's difficult looking yourself in the mirror and realizing that a big change needs to be made. So to anyone going through this situation, I'd take your viewpoint, your mindset out of yourself and think about your environment, think about the people around you, think about the future you. What decisions would you make that your future self would thank you for? Always keep these front of mind. Remove yourself from these situations. Remove the people that get you into these situations. Like, cut off the people that you do drugs with. That's just an absolute no-brainer. I don't give a shit if they're your best friend for years. If they're happy to do drugs with you, then they're happy to see you waste your life. And that's not a friend. You can't let them have this hold over you, because what they will do is they will keep you in this little box that they can control. They will always keep teasing you. They'll be like, oh, let's go get some coke. Let's go do a bit of this. Let's go do a bit of that. It's all right. It's just one night. These are the worst people because they seem so friendly. They seem like they care about you. But they don't. They truly don't, because they're just using you as an excuse for them to do drugs, because maybe they don't want to do it by themselves. Maybe they're in such a dark place themselves that they need you to be there when they do drugs, because they can't face the fact that they want to do drugs by themselves. They can't face the fact that they are that person. Don't give them a reason to carry on being like this. Cut them out completely. Now, another thing that helped was getting myself in order. What I mean by this is becoming a better guy. Going to the gym, meditating, all the usual stuff that you see on Instagram or YouTube about personal development. Just get into it. Just don't even think about it, just get into it. You've got to have a reason not to do drugs, because like I was saying earlier, the reason I was doing it was to escape the reality that I had. Now, you need to build a better reality than the drugs could ever give you. You need to surround yourself with people that make you feel amazing. You need to find purpose. You need to find areas in your life that you grow and are happy in. Because trust me, it does get a lot better. You don't even think about it anymore. You are so engrossed in your own growth, in your own future, in the future for those around you, that they're they're the last thing on your mind. I really hope that none of you are in this situation, but if you are, then please know that there is hope, there is a future, there is so much happiness outside of these bad habits. And like I say, rock bottom is only temporary. I really hope that you can see this. I know for me at the time, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see that this was only temporary, and part of me didn't want to. I think I had a lot of victim mentality, which was difficult to get over. But again, linking back to the self-image, it was almost easy to get over once I realised that I wasn't the man my family deserved to have around. I wasn't the role model that my nieces and nephew need. And now I'm working to become that. I'm not that yet, but I'm working on it. And I think that's the best thing you can do. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to work on it. All right, I think this is as much as I can talk about without fully breaking down. But yeah, I hope this has been valuable or just an insight into my past. But yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.